We all build our own gardens, careers, financial portfolios, carefully curated identities. We watch them grow, and eventually, we begin to demand that they remain permanent. This creates the illusion of control. Effort routes directly to personal permanence, severing the connection to external dependence. We attribute success entirely to our own agency. The individual becomes trapped within the nafs, a rigid fortress of the ego. This state is incredibly fragile. The entire structure of the ego's self-sufficiency is built upon a fundamental misunderstanding of reality. Maintaining this illusion of absolute independence only ensures that when reality finally asserts itself, the collision will be devastating. In the parable, the calamity arrives in silence while the man sleeps. By the time he opens his eyes, it is already done. Striking during sleep is a strategic erasure of the ego's power. It bypasses every waking defense, every prepared explanation, and every attempt to negotiate. Psychological research into sudden loss suggests that when destruction occurs in a domain where we felt absolute control, it doesn't just destroy the property, it destroys the individual's sense of agency. Years of tending, watering the soil, and watching the vines climb are erased in a single night. He wakes to find a harvest stripped bare, leaving nothing but dust where abundance once stood. Waking up in the ruins, the man is forced to confront a terrifying reality. The power he claimed over his life was never real. The ungrateful man's first words are a cry of regret. He turns his palms over in the ruins, a gesture of looking for the effort and wealth he poured into something that has now dissolved like water. His pain stems from what he failed to do. Psychological research on counterfactual thinking shows that regret for inaction, like the failure to acknowledge one's dependence, carves the deepest and most permanent cognitive wounds. Classical mystics heard a hidden mercy in this ruin. The fire that destroys the garden cracks the shell of the ego, potentially waking the soul from the dream of its own self-importance. This arrogance has a genealogy. It follows the cosmic footsteps of Iblis, who looked at his own composition and decided he was too great to bow to another. Both refused to acknowledge that their very existence was a gift. Contrast this with the man's companion. He survives the trauma because he practiced tawakkul, spiritual trust. He never anchored his peace to the garden, so its disappearance cannot move him. The companion proves that real protection is found in the heart. He guarded his soul against the illusion of ownership long before the fire arrived. The Sūrat eventually pulls back from the garden to reveal a universal truth. This entire story is a mirror for the nature of the world itself. Every created thing follows this cycle, a moment of luxuriant growth, followed by inevitable drying and being scattered by the wind. There is no exception. The Sūrat speaks of a book that misses no deed, large or small. Interestingly, neuroscience reveals that the brain stores far more information than our conscious memory can access, a biological record of experience that exists even when we cannot recall it. In this light, wealth and children are described as mere adornments. They are the beauty of the world, but they are not the foundation. Only al-Baqiyat al-Salihat, the acts of integrity and good deeds, truly endure. On the final day, the solid mountains of our pride will be set in motion, and the earth will be laid bare. Every soul will finally see its choices with perfect, unavoidable clarity. The architecture of regret reveals that the only moment to choose differently is the moment you are currently in. Once the moment passes, no amount of regret can unmake the choice. You are left only with the knowledge of what you should have done. Look at the gardens you are building today. Sincerity begins with acknowledging the hand that gives, before the gift is returned to the dust.